Hello, friends, and welcome back to another episode of Bay Area Housewife of True Crime. I'm so happy you're here. Grab your hot Cheetos and let's dive into today's case. Today, I will be covering the case of Oscar Grant. This case hits home for various reasons. It happened in Oakland. He was from Palmacia, which is in Hayward, where I grew up. I knew people who knew Oscar Grant. He could have been any other of my fellow black friends I grew up with. Sadly, he is one of the too long of a list of black men killed at the hands of police officers in this country. I cannot give you exact numbers because there is still no national database reporting use of force by police. However, that does not mean that data cannot be collected from news coverings. Black emerging adults are 5 times more likely to be killed by a police officer than a white emerging adult. Latinx emerging adults are 2 times more likely to be killed than white emerging adults. Oscar Julius Grant III was born to Oscar Grant Jr. and Wanda Johnson in Oakland, California on February 27, 1986. When Oscar was born, his father was serving a life sentence for murder, where his mother faced becoming a single parent. As a child, Oscar was active in his local church, enjoying fishing, basketball, and baseball. A cocktail of bad decisions rooted Oscar to drop out of Mount Eden High School, which I actually graduated from the year he was killed. His trouble escalated with run-ins with the law when he was arrested 5 times for driving with broken lights and drug-related charges for which he served time for. Through the wire, his family was so constant in his life, especially when he and his girlfriend Sofina Mesa welcomed Tatiana into the world in 2005. On October 2006, Oscar was stopped by San Leandro police when he was carrying a loaded gun and reached the decision to flee. He was subsequently arrested and served a 16-month sentence in Alameda County Jail until he was released in 2008. While in jail, he earned his GED and became a barber, which was a passion he wanted to pursue on the outside. At 2 a.m. on New Year's Day 2009, 5 BART police officers were dispatched to Fruitvale Station in Oakland, California. If you're not from the Bay Area, the BART stands for Bay Area Rapid Transit, which is our version of the subway. There were reports of 2 groups of young men fighting on the train. Passengers who looked to be involved in this brawl were singled out and detained by BART officers. Although Oscar was not a part of the fight, but because he was simply a black man existing in America, he was singled out. Oscar tried to explain he was not involved in the brawl, and in return was met by the fist of a BART police officer. Oscar was forced to his knees, then stomach, by BART police officers who wanted to handcuff him. Through this process, Johannes Meserly fired a gun at Oscar while he was being detained on the ground. This immediately caused severe wounds to Oscar, who was rushed to Highland Hospital. Despite the efforts of doctors, he sadly and tragically succumbed to his injuries at the hands of Johannes Meserly later that day. In court, Johannes argued that he was going for his taser and accidentally pulled his revolver. This resulted in him not being charged with first-degree murder, but not being charged with second-degree murder and instead voluntary manslaughter. Johannes was found guilty of involuntary manslaughter. The trial was moved from Oakland to Los Angeles. The jury that convicted Johannes did not have one single African American serving on it. Oscar's death at the hands of the police was a pattern of highly controversial police shootings across the United States involving black men and women. These types of shootings eventually led to the Black Lives Matter movement. We reached the end of today's episode of Bay Area Housewife of True Crime. Thank you so much for coming down the rabbit hole where I currently live. As always, I accept and respect your opinions. If you'd like a copy of my references, please email yayareahousewife@gmail.com and I'd be happy to send you my notes. Be sure to follow me on all other socials at Bay Area Housewife. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.